The nation coming together today to honor our local heroes, where you can find celebrations on this Veterans Day.
A dog still recovering after a serious case of animal cruelty. How a Flint deli is helping to raise money to help the dog.
And dressing for success, how one university is helping students work on those soft skills. Thanks for tuning in to this TV5 Morning Extra. I'm Lauren Piesco.
And I'm Christine Winter. Great to be with you live on this Veterans Day. Let's go now to First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro for a look at your chilly forecast.
Yeah, Christine, Lauren, this morning it definitely has been chilly starting off the day. We have temps that are below freezing into the upper 20s for most of our area. We do have a northwesterly breeze this morning too. So once you factor in that breeze, we are tracking wind chills that are down into the low 20s to mid 20s as of now. They were in the teens earlier this morning, but that wind right now is northwesterly at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. So the bus stops have been cooler for us too, but the afternoon bus stops should be up to about 36 to 37, just marginally warmer than many areas were yesterday. And as we go forward from here, I'm actually continuing to first alert you to increasing temps in the forecast. So we will be back towards more of our seasonal norms by the end of the week. Just for reference, that's upper 40s, mid 40s though, right around 45 for Houghton Lake, but we should have highs right up to these levels by the end of the week. We'll take a look at that coming up soon. Lauren, Christine, back to you.
Well, today is Veterans Day, and our nation is honoring all the brave men and women who've served our country.
You can help show your appreciation at some local events.
In Flint, the city's annual Veterans Day observance begins at 11 at McFarland Memorial Veterans Park. U.S. Marine Corps Lance Corporal Brandon Webb from Swartz Creek will be added to the Afghanistan-Iraq Memorial Column. He was killed in action in 2006. And Bay City Academy will be honoring local vets today. The community is invited to hear from students who will present thank you letters, artwork, and research stories, more to honor local veterans. Free breakfast will be provided there. That event is open to the public and begins at 8:30 in the school's gymnasium.
Also, the Castle Museum of Saginaw County History is holding a lunch and learn. That event will focus on veterans with the Michigan Heroes Museum. You can bring a lunch to take part starting at noon.
One theater chain is saying thank you to veterans as well. Imagine Theater is offering free admission to all active duty military and veterans. Those guests can bring a friend and choose any movie at any Michigan location to show proof of service at the box office. This offer is good for all showtimes today.
This could have gone much differently. That person could have chose to surrender at the scene and deal with the consequences of his actions, but instead chose to flee and expose many other people to a great deal of harm.
Investigators say a football coach at Grand Blanc West Middle School was killed at his day job in Lapeer County. They say one man is now in custody, charged with murder after a miles-long chase. State police say 32-year-old William Channer from Columbus, Michigan, shot and killed 30-year-old Logan Welch.
Yeah, this happened at Trim's Unlimited in Almont around 8:30 in the morning on November 5th. Now, Welch was a lifelong resident of Grand Blanc and the 7th grade football coach for Grand Blanc West Middle School. He was also the plant manager at Trim's Unlimited and expecting his first child with his wife.
After the shooting, troopers say Channer led officers on a chase on I-69 that ended near Imlay City when Lapeer County deputies shot Channer several times before giving him medical aid. Channer now faces several charges, including first-degree premeditated murder.
Violence is just not the answer. It's just not the answer for somebody that's dealing with whatever, personal or job-related hardships that they may be feeling. There's so much more at stake than just that isolated incident.
The prosecutor says Channer was a recent employee at Trim's Unlimited. He was denied bond.
The first prosecution and conviction under Michigan's new safe storage law reaching a conclusion for Michael Tolbert. His daughter, Sky McBride's recovery journey continues to inspire people nearly 2 years after the heartbreaking accident inside a Flint home when Sky got a hold of a gun and accidentally shot herself. Now 5 years old, Sky has endured multiple brain surgeries, wears a prosthetic eye, and may still need another surgery, but she is fighting and showing remarkable strength. Yesterday, her family received some closure. Her father was sentenced to more than 10 years in prison, becoming the first person in Michigan charged under the state's safe storage law. For Sky's family, though, the sentence, they say, felt small compared to what she's endured.
Her whole childhood was stolen, and although it can't be replaced, I just feel like more time should have been given to him.
Now, the family hopes this hearing will serve as a warning and a push for safer gun storage in homes so no other child has to suffer like Sky.
A search for justice in a deadly animal cruelty case involving two dogs in Genesee County. The German shepherds named Ringo and Star were found abandoned at the Flint Golf Club. One member of the club made that unexpected discovery 2 weeks ago.
I was actually just got finished playing a round of golf, was getting ready to head home when I noticed Star running down the street, not really in like an aggressive way. She was more kind of like barking, almost acting like, hey, follow me, like something's going on. When I got out of my car to kind of walk over her, she was what I thought was taking a drink out of the water.
When he stopped, he found another dog trapped inside a black wire crate, dumped in Thread Lake next to the course. Star is expected to survive after receiving emergency surgery, but Ringo had to be put down because of severe injuries and illness. Anyone with information on who dumped the dogs, they were found exactly 2 weeks ago today, is urged to contact Crime Stoppers of Flint and Genesee County. You can remain anonymous and receive a cash reward of up to $1,000.
Now, one local business is looking to help cover the cost of Star's surgery and her medical costs. Hoffman's Deco Deli and Cafe on Saginaw Street in Flint is launching a new featured sandwich called the Ringo Star. The sandwich shop is partnering with Sheltered Animal Donations, or SAD, to help alleviate the financial burden for Genesee County Animal Control. A portion of every sale from the Ringo Star sandwich will go towards that nonprofit.
Saginaw leaders are asking the community for input on its future. The Saginaw Neighborhood Housing and Economic Development Survey is now available online. City leaders say that report will help capture the city's existing economic conditions and housing market while developing goals for Saginaw. You can share your opinion on that survey through Friday, December 12th. Just head to hot links at the top of WNEM.com. Well, you are joining us live watching TV5 Morning Extra.
Stay with us. Coming up, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in Midland right now. We have a preview of this weekend's Festival of Trees.
But first, a new video game made in Michigan, a look behind the scenes at an Upper Peninsula company building digital worlds.
Miss a story? You can catch up on our YouTube channel, and for the latest updates, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Matthew will have your first alert forecast coming up next after this break.
Going throughout the remainder of this week, we are tracking steadily increasing temperatures for mid-Michigan. So by the upcoming weekend even, we're still holding 50s in the forecast as of right now. And I know a lot of our deer hunters are looking forward to this weekend too. Opening day for firearm deer season is on Saturday, currently calling for a high of 50 there. But I will say for the weekend, still tracking a little bit of rain. But this morning we've seen some signs that that storm system might actually be shifting a little bit more to the north, which if that ends up being the case, would take some of the rainfall with it too. It's still too early to make any significant changes to the forecast, but that at least is a trend we will be monitoring through the week. Now, taking a look at the raking forecast here, still not looking too great for today or tomorrow. Definitely better by Thursday. Also on Friday, we're expecting more sun by both of those days. It'll also be breezy for today and for tomorrow. Some of those wind gusts peaking at 30 miles per hour. Still a little bit breezy on Thursday too, with wind gusts near 25. However, those wind gusts on Thursday, are still expected to not be quite as strong as today or tomorrow. First alert pinpoint Doppler all dry for us currently. We've seen the lake effect moving away from our area. Rest of the morning should be pretty dry too, but as we go into the afternoon, notice this here. We do have a couple of isolated snow showers popping up. They should be pretty light though, but this is all just ahead of a very weak warm front moving into our area. That's in the middle of the afternoon today, about 2 to 3 o'clock. A few more flurries still possible towards dinner time and as we go into tonight. Then for tomorrow, we have a little bit of lake effect lingering here too, but that should actually be more so rain showers because we will have temps into the 40s by tomorrow afternoon and then eventually clearing those skies out going into tomorrow night. Now, highs today will reach up to about 37 degrees. So again, still a fairly cold day. We're back into the 40s starting tomorrow, 43. Then we have 48 on Thursday, then 49 on Friday. So it looks very nice towards the end of this week, especially with the sun. And of course, again, still holding on to those 50s for the weekend currently. However, after the weekend, we will see those temps cooling back down early next week.
More news now. A new business in the Upper Peninsula is hoping to create more jobs in the video game industry. Michigan Tech University grad Matthew Spencer worked for Microsoft and then took that experience to establish Uper Game Studios, a UP-based video game business. When not helping Michigan Tech students with how to create video games, Spencer's busy making his own. His team is now up to 10. Made up of both Upper Peninsula people and members across the Midwest.
My philosophy is we got a bunch of talent right here in the UP. We got a bunch of talent here local. Let's get the conversation moving away from like I got to go to this coastal tech hub like Seattle or California to make this happen.
Spencer says because so many games are made to be digitally available, game development and publishing can happen almost anywhere. Right now, the team's working on finishing touches of Exodus of Descent, an online multiplayer fantasy game.
Get to know your first responders in Bay City today. The Bay City Department of Public Safety is inviting you out to chat, ask some questions, or share any concerns with officers and firefighters over a cup of joe. Coffee with Public Safety is happening this morning from 8 to 10 at their central location, Fire Station 1 on Center Avenue.
Friday, the Junior League of the Great Lakes Bay region kicking off the Festival of Trees. More than 130 decorated trees, wreaths, and garlands will all be up for auction at the Great Hall Banquet and Convention Center on Bay City Road in Midland. Winners can come pick up their decorations on Sunday between 6 and 9. The 37th Annual Festival of Trees opens Friday morning at 11.
The city of Corunna is set to unveil newly refurbished state historical markers this week. Check this out. The markers will be found at the Shiawassee County Courthouse and the Surbeck Building on North Shiawassee Street, along with Corunna Public Schools, the home of former Governor Andrew Parsons on M71, and McCurdy Park on Corunna Avenue at Emma Drive. That big reveal will take place Thursday at 2 o'clock, weather dependent.
Students at Central Michigan University in Mount Pleasant had some FaceTime with the university president, Neil McKinnon. He showed them how to tie ties last night and also shared some tips on how to dress for success.
Sometimes universities, and rightly so, we focus on the academics, but sometimes we forget about the soft skills. And hopefully the students that attended here tonight, again, will hopefully give them the confidence that when they are in that job interview for their dream job, that they'll nail it. And a part of it, again, is the confidence that you get from dressing professionally for that sort of setting.
And that event started annually under former President Bob Davies. Ties for the event were donated by CMU's Career Development Center, which helps current students and alumni with career opportunities and resources. That is neat. I need to learn how to tie a tie.
Me too. We could all learn how to tie a tie.
Yeah.
All right, for one last look at your 7-day forecast, let's check in now with meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Yeah, and that 7-day forecast here does have steadily increasing temps through the rest of the week. So even though today is still fairly cold at 37, we'll eventually be to the upper 40s, right near 50 by the end of the week and this upcoming weekend. And those temperatures too, upper 40s near 50, still is right about normal for this time of year.
All right, Matthew, thank you. Thanks for watching TV5 Morning Extra.
Yes, we will see you on TV5 News at 9. Have a very happy Veterans Day.